What's going on, you guys? My name is Zach Hartley, and in this video we are going to talk about when to take profits. Okay guys, so if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. My only goal here is to help you make more money by giving you the information, tips, and strategies that you need to make better informed decisions when you're investing and trading in the stock market. So without any further ado, let's talk about when to take profit. Okay guys, so the first thing you need to think about when you're looking at your positions is, do you have any losses right now? If you have any losses, first thing you need to do is implement a stop loss. That's the bare minimum at which you're going to sell in case you're wrong and you're just going to take that hit. Now, once you have that stop loss, you need to relook at your position and say, would I be comfortable buying at this exact point right now? And if the answer is no, and you still think it's going to sell off, you think it's going to go down, then you should cut your loss right now. You should get out of that position. You should sell that, and you should reinvest that money into something that you think will go up or that you think has a high probability of going up, rather than letting that one ride out another 5 or 10% until hopefully it hits support. That is not the right strategy. You need to cut the losers fast and let the winners run. So if you're in a position right now that is losing, you think it's going to continue to go down, but it hasn't hit your stop loss yet. If you're not confident in rebuying that position, or theoretically in your head investing more money into it, then you should get out of that position. You should cut your loss and you should just get out right now. It's a sunk cost, and reinvest that leftover money into something that you think will go up. It will give you a better return in the long run. So that's what you do if you're already losing money. Now, let's say you got a little bit of a gain on it and you're trying to figure out, should I take my 10% profit or should I wait till it hits my target of 20% or whatever the number may be? The thing that you need to evaluate is that target that you have of 20% or 30% or a certain price level, that needs to change, because if the technicals and if everything changes in that price action, you should readjust your take profit level and lock in that profit if you think the stock is about to turn around. What I'm saying here is, if you have a little bit of profit but you think that profit is now at risk of being lost, then you should at least lock in some of that profit. You should lock in half of that profit, or you should lock in all of that profit, get out of the trade, and if it continues that trend, then get back into the trade. That's what you should do when you have a little bit of profit on the line. Now, when you have a strategy and you are at your target level, take your profit. Really simple. If you are looking for a 2-to-1 risk return ratio, you finally get your play, it hits that 2-to-1 level, take your profit, or implement a trailing stop loss, a stop loss that will follow the stock as it goes up, but make sure that you lock in your profits. Do not risk giving up that profit back to the market. It is a significant problem, especially in new traders. You get 20, 30, 40%, whatever the number may be, and then all of a sudden you get greedy and you want more. That is the number one risk that you have when you are a trader and you're starting to make money, is greed. Greed will force you to stay in that trade, and it will force you to lose money over time. So when you have profits, you need to be comfortable locking them in. You make money when you sell early. You do not make money when you hold too long. You lose money at that point. So you need to think about that, and you need to be happy with the profits you do make. You cannot look at the chart afterwards and say, wow, it ran another 20%. What a dummy I am. No, you need to be confident and you need to be happy with the returns that you did get when you made some profit. Now, let's say you got a runner. You got one that's going. You got one that is just going for the hills. How do you manage that? Well, we have a couple of those in my portfolio right now, so we're going to dive into that. So as you can see here, this is my basically options portfolio. I have Air Canada options that expire in October. I also have Lulu options that expire in December, and Zoom conference call options that expire in November. So the Zoom call and the Lulu call are up 42% and 87% respectively. And then Air Canada, these numbers are a little skewed because I had an initial position. It did really well. I took my entire initial position out and we're left with about $1,200 in here. So what we're going to do now is evaluate these three stocks and see which ones we want to take our profits on based on the technical analysis. So let's jump into the charts. Let's first look at Zoom. So this is what Zoom looks like right now. This is the chart, and as you can see here, we had an amazing last kind of 8 or 9 days here where the stock went from this $230 mark to about $280, and we made some great gains on it. I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit to the 3-month mark, and as you can see here, we tapped out at about this 270 280 range once, twice, and then we finally broke through it, and now we've had a rough day today. We dropped all the way down to about 275. We're trading at 283 today, and the technicals don't look great. the RSI is coming down, the MACD isn't having a clean break upward, and therefore I am going to sell my Zoom conference call. We've done 40% on it, 42%. We're doing really well on it. The stock is looking like it could face a little bit of resistance here. It didn't have a great today. There's clearly some selling pressure on it. People are taking profit after the last 8 days, and I think that's what I'm going to do as well. Because we have 42%, we have hit our target, and I don't want to get greedy on this. I don't want it to fall back down. So I'm going to sell my Zoom conference call. Now let's look at Lulu. Okay, so this is the Lulu stock, and as you can see, it has had an amazing August. It opened at around like 323, 325, and it is now at 376. So it's seen an amazing like 10, 15, 20% run here. Like, it's done phenomenally well, and that is why our options are up like 87.7%, because Lulu is just killing it. They're doing phenomenally well. So at this point, I don't see any technicals that would say, hey Zach, maybe you should take profit on Lulu, maybe you should lock this in, because as of right now, the MACD is increasing and that gap is spreading there. The RSI is still clearly going up into the oversold zone, or overbought zone, which I'm okay with right now. I'm worried when it exits that zone, that's probably when I want to sell it. But as of right now, this is a pretty clear trend of positive buying, and I really like that. I'm going to ride this out as much as I can, and I'm actually going to put a stop loss around this 360, 365 area, just so I can lock in those gains. So that's how I'm going to handle Lulu. And then the last one we want to look at is Air Canada. So when we look at Air Canada, this is a really interesting chart because it's basically hovered around this $16 mark for a little while. So if you look at this chart, you can see we've basically bounced off the $16 mark, or $15.50 mark if you want to say, once in June here, once in July, again in August, and now we sort of tested it at the end of August here, right at this 15.5, just under 16 level. And today we had a huge break upwards. We went from 16 to 16.75. It looks like we almost hit the $17 mark there at the earlier in the day. So huge break up on Air Canada. It looks really good. The option did pretty good today. It was up 18%, so that's really nice to see. So as of right now, I'm going to let Air Canada run. I do have a stop loss already on this at around the $14.50 or $15 mark, but we already got our initial investment out on it, so all of this is profit right now. So for right now, we're going to let Air Canada run. I'm going to let Lulu run, and I'm going to sell my Zoom conference call. So let's go in here and let's get rid of these calls. We've got 2 of them. Okay, so I enter 2 there, US. I'm going to sell them at the market price because I just want to get out of the trade. Okay, here's the summary of my trade. It's going to give me $8,300, which is pretty darn good. And here's my confirmation. So we sold 2 call contracts for Zoom with an expiration 11/20/2020. And or November 20th, yeah, 2020, at a market price, and it gave us $8,300 US. So really great trade. We just locked in 42% gains on Zoom conference call here. We've still got Lulu that's running around 80% profit, and we've got Air Canada that is 100% profit right now. It had an amazing day today, so we're gonna let that one run and we're gonna see what happens. But in summary, if you have a loss and you're not confident buying back into that position because it just got cheaper, then you need to get out of that position. If you have a small gain, you need to adjust your target price so that you can take profits as close as possible if that position turns around before it hits your target. If you're at your target, you need to take your gains. You need to just take it and be happy with your trade, or you need to put on a trailing stop loss and let it run a little bit. If you have a runner, you need to constantly evaluate that position and wait for it to turn around, and you need to possibly lock in gains as you go up. So sell part of your position, sell part of your position, and then as it goes up and it hits its peak, sell the entire position. Now the big thing here is you need to lock in your gains. You are not making money. You did not go up on the day. You did not do anything until you've actually locked in the gains. That stock can trade, or that stock can change at any point. News can come out at any point. Trump can say something stupid at any point. So you need to be very aware that you have not made any money until you've actually locked in those gains. That is the #1 rule in stock trading, is it's not real until it's realized, and that is how it works in this game. So if you guys got any value out of this video, please consider subscribing. I sincerely appreciate it. My only goal is to help you make more money, and I hope you got some values here. So thank you, and we will talk to you soon.